Welcome to Tables, Lists,
and Chairs.
Welcome to TLC here on WrestleTalk. I'm Luke Owen. I'm joined by Ollie Davis and joined virtually by Mr. SantiZap.
Hello, everybody. I would have loved to be there in person, but instead, I'm going to be the first one virtually, so that's great.
This is, yeah. We are breaking new ground with TLC technology.
It's they're putting the T in Thunderdome this episode.
Thunderdome lists and chairs. So yeah, we TLC, if you're unfamiliar with this format, is that we individually have put together a top 10 list of a certain wrestling category, and we're going to reveal them to each other one by one. And then at the end of it, our lovely producer will collate all the scores together because they get a numerical value. Your number one pick will score 10 points, your number two pick will score 9 points, so on and so forth, and we'll reveal the top 3. And the list we're going to be doing in this episode is the best John Cena matches. Now, the reason why we have got Mr. SantiZap here, obviously, aside from the fact, an excellent guy, an excellent content creator, a wonderful human being, but also, I think it's been pretty obvious if anyone's watched this channel before, Ollie and I are not John Cena guys.
No.
But we wanted to do a celebration of John Cena. We didn't want to just have me, you, and Sullivan or Laurie all sitting there being like, yeah, but it's good, I guess. We wanted to have someone on the show who can actually talk about the positives of the C Nation.
Yeah, what are they?
There's like a 10-year lost period of good things involving the C Nation, where if you were a member of the C Nation, you just sort of had your head down and acknowledged it was crap, but just pretended it was good.
So because we got our worst John Cena matches, which is over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk, also featuring Mr. SantiZap. I actually found the best one easier to do than the worst one. Like, when it came to the best matches, I was like, I can just write down a bunch of these matches.
Oh, no, not for me, because for the worst, I just did most WrestleManias. Most WrestleManias that John Cena has been in, they've been the worst match of John Cena's career. But the best ones, I didn't mean to do this. Most of my best ones are built around beating up John Cena. A lot of the joy I take in them is because the crowd or the wrestler is actively opposing the character and corporate persona of the guy.
You realize that is the entire premise of the WWE 2K video game showcase, where he was the cover athlete.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Where all of the matches that they featured were matches that he got his ass kicked in, that are famous for him getting his ass kicked in, or the crowd hated him. So it seems like you're kind of in line with a pretty normal demographic of John Cena viewers. I don't want to say fan, viewers.
Mine's going to be slightly different to your list then. I'm very curious to see what Santi's list looks like. Mine is a little bit of that, but actually it's all the bottom half of my list. And then the top half of my list are what I think are just objectively good. I don't use the Triple H objectively here. Objectively good John Cena matches. But are we ready?
I just want to say, like, for me, you guys will see on Patreon, for me, the worst matches are the ones that just pissed me off.
Yes.
Not even generally like bad matches, just matches that really piss me off. You guys will see a lot of the matches that I like are matches that made me feel emotionally good. Not even necessarily like technically good. There's a handful of matches that John Cena has had that just hit you right in the feet.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay.
Brock Lesnar 2012 as the Extreme Rules match.
Yes, Extreme Rules.
From SantiZap, we have got Royal Rumble 2007 versus Umaga for Ollie Davis, and I have got versus Rob Van Dam at ECW One Night Stand 2006. I would say that is low.
Yeah, I get that. It wasn't even on my list when I did my first version. But I wasn't really watching wrestling from, definitely not WWE, TNA, till I die, from like 05 through to 09. So I missed this whole bit. So emotionally, it doesn't connect with me as much. But watching it back, it does, yeah, it's a great match. Great last man standing match. It feels like what Foley did for Triple H in a way. Like, this feels like what I wanted John Cena to be in the best version. He's full of blood. He's got a badass side to him. This could have been the John Cena that I would have liked in the next 5 or so years.
Yeah, I will. It's going to be on my list, so I'll save my thoughts for it then. I'll just quickly go through One Night Stand because this is one of those ones where I feel like it's low on my list because this is not about John Cena. This match is great because it's Rob Van Dam and it's the ECW crowd on in the ECW show. It's awesome. But also, and I don't like the finish. I don't like that it's Edge that wins the match for Rob Van Dam. Like, it's to further the Edge Cena feud. So, like, even on Rob's own show, a show built around Rob Van Dam, he doesn't get to be the one to shine too much. But I do think it is, like, it's an iconic match. And I think it's super awesome.
Yeah, when it comes to like the word iconic, I definitely have it on there. It's not on my list, if you can believe it or not. I actually recently rewatched it for my Patreon, and I actually didn't love what was happening in the ring. I was like, this is entirely carried by, like you said, Rob Van Dam and the crowd and the atmosphere. So I don't even think about it as a John Cena match, almost to a degree. To me, it's like an ECW match. But yeah, no, I think it's a great shout, and it's going to be in a lot of people's lists. I have the Brock Lesnar Extreme Rules 2012 match, even though the ending is just wrong. Why is Brock Lesnar losing that match? It makes no sense. The man's been gone for 8 years. He comes back as the scariest dude allowed to have advertisements on his shorts looking like a real fighter, and he loses. It makes no sense. The reason why it's on my list is because this match told me the greatest lie of all time. It made me believe that we were so back. I watched this match and I was like, the PG era is over. Brock Lesnar's going to be here every week being a badass. John Cena's going to be bleeding. We're going to have just the most violent, brutal matches moving forward. It made me believe all of that in the moment, because it really was just a nasty, brutal match and a reminder of how scary Brock Lesnar is. All of that was a lie.
Yeah.
All of that none of that came true. But in the moment, I remember just thinking, oh my God, wrestling is so cool again in a stretch of years where it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And this match was a little beacon, even though it was a terrible, terrible decision to have Lesnar lose.
That's why it's not on my list, because you're right. Like, I think it is a really good match, but it's completely the wrong call.
It's just Super Cena again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a Brock Lesnar match on my list, but obviously it might be the other one where the result is somewhat different.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam 2025 for MrSantiZap. Team Cena versus Team Authority from Survivor Series 2014 for Ollie Davis. And I've got Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2014. Okay, I've got very different things. Your SantiZap, I think that is low. I think that's super low.
Okay.
I think that match rules.
I think the match rules too. That's why it's in my top 10. I love this match because it's the return of the Super Cena, the like babyface Cena that everybody wanted throughout the retirement tour. So I mentioned, when we started this, that the matches that are going to be on here are the ones that are going to feel something. I was smiling from ear to ear in this match, even though if you put this match in 2010, it's making everyone roll their eyes. Super Cena, here we go again. But because it's 2025, we were shunned away from the real John Cena for months after WrestleMania 41. It was just so nice to see obnoxious Super Cena kicking out of everything alongside obnoxious Cody Rhodes kicking out of everything.
Yeah, it is a cathartic match, I feel. And it's, again, spoilers, it's going to be on my list, so I'll save some of my thoughts when I get to it there. Is it on yours?
It's on my list, yeah. What a story building into it. Like what a payoff for that heel turn run, the all-time great heel turn.
Yeah.
And then, just an amazing babyface switch.
Yeah.
In a promo.
In fairness, that SmackDown was like, I'm not a heel anymore. Sorry about that, everyone.
It is funny how forcefully out of the plane parachute WWE had to be with that whole storyline. Like, it just didn't happen, guys. We're just sorry. Here's an awesome 2025 SummerSlam match with Cody Rhodes for him.
We thought we had 3 more weeks till SummerSlam. We forgot it was at the start of August now. We're just going to do this in a promo.
I have not got the Survivor Series 2014 match because I don't think this is a John Cena match. This is a Dolph Ziggler match.
What a great Sting return. What a great Dolph Ziggler thing. Just great stuff. Yeah.
This is Dolph versus Triple H.
I know.
This is Dolph versus Seth Rollins. This
And
is
that's why it's number 9 on the best John Cena matches ever. But it's so good because he gets eliminated. Again, this is playing with the persona of John Cena. Team Cena. It's called... I hate this, by the way. What, the other Team Authority. They're just called the Authority. Why does everything have to be team? Anyway, Team Cena. It's built around him. Like, oh, okay, he's going to go to the end. Blah, blah, blah. Main character always. But when he gets eliminated, the Big Show turn, and Big Show, who cares about that stuff? The whole match becomes electric. It's somewhat like the Chamber match when Cena gets eliminated first. Totally changes the atmosphere because anything can happen because Cena, who makes everything the same and template, is no longer a part of this. So I do know what you say, and there is a bit of cynicism in me for choosing this. But it is because of who Cena is, that's what makes the Dolph Ziggler part of the match more special.
And I've got Lesnar at SummerSlam 2014. Much like my Rob Van Dam pick, this is not really about John Cena, because this was supposed to be Bryan Danielson. This match would have been the same if it was Bryan Danielson. It would have been laid out exactly the same. It would have just been Brock Lesnar doing a load of German suplexes and winning. But it is awesome, though. Like, it's so cool.
It's awesome because it's happening to Super Cena. The match isn't as impactful if it is Bryan. In fact, it's actually probably a bad match that would have made us all very angry.
True.
But because it is Cena, the top guy in the company, and he has that persona about him, when Brock does squash him like he should have done at Extreme Rules, it's all the more impactful.
Yeah, maybe this is like this. This is also the cathartic. Oh, this is what you should have done 2 years ago. Yeah, when he came back. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. So close. We had SummerSlam 2025 for Ollie Davis versus Cody Rhodes. Shawn Michaels, the near hour-long match on Monday Night Raw for SantiZap, and I have got The Fiend at WrestleMania 36. I'll be quick. It's not a match.
Why is it on here?
Because it's awesome and it's a match. There is a pinfall at the end. But I don't think you can look at this and be like, what a classic in-ring bout this is. This is a short film.
It's a Max Landis video essay from 2015.
Yeah. And it's, I love it. And it's like, what a deconstruction of the John Cena character. And it's like, it blew my mind, and it still blows my mind to this day. You mentioned that the 2K game, like this is in the 2K game as like a mode that you have to do, and it's kind of wild to go through that NWO Cena and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, I've had to put it low on my list because there are actual matches that I've got above this one. But I love it.
I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely amazing. I almost cried watching that, and it also came at the perfect time when we're all shut down, right? It was just this like beautiful reminder that, hey, wrestling is still around. The thing that you love is still taking care of you and nurturing you even when you're stuck at home during the pandemic. I adore this match, and it's probably the match on this list, spoiler, it's on mine, that I've rewatched the most. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's this and the Boneyard match as well did give WWE this false sense of security that I think any cinematic match will work. I think we could do these all the time.
Yeah, and then they perfected it with the Money in the Bank match.
What about the Swamp match? That's the greatest cinematic.
No, the Money in the Bank match is the best one.
I think inarguably the best worst one is the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits, which ends via tentacle.
Yeah, in the bin.
In the bin. It's awesome. But yeah, you have got Shawn Michaels. I think this is fairly low. I've got this higher on my list.
It's arguably his best match, like wrestling match on this list. I mean, for a long time, not that there were that many technical masterpieces for John Cena at this point in his career, but for a long time, this was the quintessential best John Cena match of all time. If somebody had it as their number one, I'm not going to sit here and argue with them because it really is just a wonderful match. I just have other matches ahead of this that, again, just kind of elicit more emotion out of me. If this was their WrestleMania match, had they done this at WrestleMania instead, I think we actually would have been talking about an all-time WrestleMania classic. But it happening on Monday Night Raw, having commercials in it, that's how I experienced it. That always just sort of hurts the experience for me overall. I also, if I'm remembering correctly, was this not in the UK? So I on my end, I had it spoiled. So there's a lot of little details and context that kind of damaged this match for me when I initially watched it live. But there's no denying, like, this is an unbelievable match. It is shocking how good a chemistry Shawn Michaels can have with literally anything and everybody. Sure, Shawn Michaels could have an amazing match with a bag of bricks, but on this night, it was a bag of bricks named John Cena.
I always describe Cena as a bag of hammers. Just the way he moves sometimes.
Yeah. It's got the most awkward run to the ring. And you have got Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Again, I think this is low. Spoilers, it's high on my list.
I think, I'm just one off with Santi there. I think it's because the story going into it wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
And it really should have been. But at the same time, you're like, well, I'm kind of glad you did just drop the whole heel run because it wasn't working the way it should have done. And it did allow us to just all get on board with Super Cena, Classic Cena, at the right time, which was SummerSlam. It's a real shame it did come at the expense because I thought there was so much potential for the heel run. But the actual match itself, especially when you've got the Mania match in the back of your mind, just 4 months or so prior, there's no Travis Scott, the spectre of The Rock is finally gone. We weren't just all sitting there going, yeah, but when's The Rock coming out?
Surely The Rock's going to be here.
When are the false finishes? And what was the Cody Vader spot when he comes up out the floor? It was pure comic book action. I thought it's his second best match of his retirement run. We've not watched all of the retirement run as we're recording this.
We've got 2 more yet. We've got 2 more to go.
Because when Obafemi squashes him to retire him, I think that might be number 1.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
The Fiend, WrestleMania 36 for Mr. SantiZap. I've got Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 2013 and the AJ Styles Crown Jewel match 2025. I will presume this is your other best match of the retirement year.
Yes, I think this is, obviously, it's the one above the other one. So this is my favorite match so far of Cena's retirement year. It's less of a match. I think it's closer to the Firefly Funhouse match than it is a normal match. It's more of a performance art piece in here's all my favorite moves. And here's moves you recognize from previous feuds that we've both had. It also doubles up as a semi-retirement match for AJ Styles.
It sort of does in a way. Like, spoilers, it's not on my list. I feel bad for it not being on my list because it is. I had so much fun with it, but I do think it's a bit of a cheat code match. Like, this is, you've got into 2K25 and just set all of your moves to be the best moves.
But I think I actually think this match might push wrestling into a new stylistic form because Cena and AJ back at the Rumble, they had that match which pushed WWE into a new template. Now everything became about kickouts and false finishes, multiple kickouts of the finishers. I think now we're going to see even more. We hit all the moves of the people that we've had, which has been established in AEW because of the amount of attention they pay to their long-term feuds. But yeah, it actually is the time with Bray as well, because one of the most beautiful moments is the Sister Abigail spot.
That is so emotionally wonderful. Like, it is good. Again, the last thing I will say on this match, because it's not on my list, that match, and I mean this in a loving way. This is going to sound like a real criticism of it, and real harsher than I mean it sound like. This is that scene in The Flash when they just look around and see all of the different versions of Batman and Superman. That is what this match is.
That's the best part of that movie. To be fair, that's the best part of that movie. I'm going to save my thoughts on this because it's high on my list. So I love that match. I'll say that for now.
So talk to us about Bray Wyatt's The Fiend.
You guys couldn't have said it any better. They're basically the same match as the John Cena, AJ Styles Crown Jewel match. It elicits all of the same feelings. This is a match not even for the regular WWE fan. This is a match for me. And it might feel selfish to say that, but when WWE does the rare thing and create a match for me, the one that's invested years, decades watching professional wrestling, I feel it and I appreciate it and I love it. And this is what this is. It's the greatest love letter to the career of John Cena. I almost wished that this could have been part of the retirement tour in some capacity if Bray Wyatt was still with us, because it really was just such a phenomenal way to talk about all of the frustrations that people have had with John Cena's career throughout the 20 years of him being Super Cena. And it was a way of telling fans, we validate your feelings for all of those years of Cena ruining professional wrestling for you. I know he said he's going to ruin professional wrestling for us in the heel run, but for many people, he ruined it in the 2000s, in the 2010s. And this is the personification of the ruining of wrestling at the hands of John Cena for many people. And I loved it. It's such a great cinematic, beautiful love piece to John Cena haters and fans at the same time.
It's also like, to put a lot of credit onto Cena on this. Obviously, Bray Wyatt deserves a lot of the credit for this as well. But Cena being so self-aware of what his career is, and fans resentment towards him in some cases, and just being like, let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about me going heel. Let's talk about me burying people, this and the other. I think it's really commendable that he was so willing to just be like, yeah, let's lampoon me. Let's go there. Let's do this space. And it makes me think, like, what would this match have looked like had it not been a pandemic?
Cena would have won.
No, I think the Fiend would have won, but I don't think it would have been a good match.
Yeah.
Because, as much as I really liked the Fiend, he only had one good match in that character.
It wouldn't have been good. I don't think it would have been good. Especially, okay, what if, let's not even say no pandemic. What if it was the pandemic, but they chose to do a regular match? Imagine how bad that would have been.
With the
in front of
silence.
nobody.
Yeah.
You
I
found
think
the
it would have
worst
been
option.
terrible.
They found the worst
Yeah.
option. Hey, it worked for Randy Orton and Edge. Yeah, and I've got Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. Again, much like my number 10, my number 9, my number 8, and now this pick, it's not about John Cena. This is about Bryan Danielson and him winning the WWE Championship. But again, selflessly, this is about John Cena handpicking Daniel Bryan to be the new guy. And he really does everything in that match to make Danielson look awesome and look the best that he can be. It's a real shame then that the end of the match actually is Randy Orton as the champion. But at the end of the show is. But I think that Cena, for all the criticism of Super Cena doesn't put anyone over, buries talent, this and the other, this is Cena going out of his way to make someone a star. And I think he does that with Daniel Bryan here. 3, 2, 1. What? We have got CM Punk from Raw in 2013, Elimination Chamber 2015 versus Kevin Owens, and I Have God versus CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011.
You are telling me there are 5 better John Cena matches?
What? Are you crazy? At 6? I'm with Ollie on this one.
Okay. In my defense, and I will defend my list, this is not about John Cena. This is about CM Punk. This is about Chicago. This is about the pipe bomb. This is about John Cena. It's about Vince McMahon. It's about Alberto Del Rio. It's not a John Cena match. It's a CM Punk match. And I think there are 5 better John Cena matches that go above this, or at least John Cena working with someone.
But this doesn't work if it's not Cena. The only way it works is it's Punk, the anti-establishment, going against the establishment, which is John Cena. It is a John Cena match. I am fighting tooth and nail on that. That is a Cena and Punk match because it only works if it's those two. I disagree, sir. I disagree to the moon.
All right, okay. In that case, then, they botched 3 moves. So,
Yes,
it goes down on my list because of that.
It's a CM Punk match. Of course they botched 3 moves. But yes, I disagree with you too, sir. Because what are the greatest moments of that match? It's the entrances. It's the calm, and then it's the Punk entrance, but the calm before the Cena music hits, and then the deafening boos.
Yeah, you're right. It's about the Chicago crowd. Yeah.
Yes, hating
John
Cena.
Yeah, but I think anyone would have been booed in that position. It works,
but nowhere near.
It works better because it's John Cena. but it would have had it wouldn't have had as visceral a reaction, but it would have had a reaction had it been any other heel. If it was
let's put the Big Show in there. Yeah, that'll be great.
I mean, honestly, if the Big Show was WWE champion in 2011, I think people would have been booing that. Really, come, please, Punk, beat this guy to win the title. But I completely take your points, and I agree with everything you made. I feel bad that it's low. When I showed editor Kieran this yesterday, he was surprised I had it this low. I completely understand.
Yeah,
this
you
is
still did it.
This is a controversial take. I think there are 5 better John Cena wrestling matches.
Okay, well, we're going to have to ask you to prove that with every subsequent entry now. Why is it not as good? Why is it better than Money in the Bank 2011?
And I will argue that point. Do you want to talk about Kevin Owens?
Yes, this was. I think the WWE Network had either just launched in the UK or was about to. I'm pretty sure I watched this through a VPN. My address was Disneyland. To get the WWE Network from the United States. We didn't have it in the UK then. That's right. Maybe.
I think you're right, because I'm pretty sure we bought it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I remember staying up. I really vividly remember, because I'm a huge Kevin Steen fan. Again, it's not about John Cena. From Ring of Honor, and then he's in NXT. And then when he debuts on the main roster, answering the Open Challenge, which itself was the run that turned Cena around for me, and I think a lot of people. Brilliant run. But Owens is the one who answers it as NXT champion. And it builds to this match, and Owens wins. Like, I don't actually think it's the best match, like just in terms of drama, but that they put Kevin Owens over. You spoke about Brock Lesnar coming in 2012 and like, oh wow, WWE serious now. That's how I felt with Owens beating Cena. That was an emphatic statement. The NXT champion, this former Ring of Honor guy who looks nothing like Vince's body type, just beat John Cena.
Yeah, in like basketball shorts and the jerseys. It is mad. I watched it with some friends of mine, knowing what the finish was, because we watched it on delay, and they went into being like, it's just going to be Cena winning. And I was sat there waiting for them to be wrong, because I knew that Owens won.
No. Let me talk about the second best CM Punk match.
Yeah.
Look, some might even have this low on their list. This is just a wonderful match. One of the best Monday Night Raw matches of all time, I would argue. This is ahead of the Shawn Michaels one for me specifically, because I did get to see this live. I did not get this spoiled, but it's very similar to that in terms of, just maybe not as good in terms of the work rate, but there's certainly a lot more history and a lot more legacy between Cena and Punk at this point, where these guys could just have a great match with their eyes closed, and it just seemed like these guys were just out there balling out. I still think that WrestleMania should have included Punk.
Yeah.
This is a rare occasion where I will say I would have loved for this match to end in a draw, shenanigans, some way, shape, or form. Have the Big Show go out there and turn heel again and ruin it, just so that we can get CM Punk out there. But albeit the result of John Cena winning and going to face The Rock, and CM Punk just sort of being left in limbo, trying to find a WrestleMania feud, eventually landing on The Undertaker, the match in itself was still just utterly fantastic. I don't think it's as good as Money in the Bank, but I still think it's a darling.
I know, I would agree with you on that one. We actually watched it recently, but we did a podcast series covering the Rock Cena feud from start to end, and we watched the CM Punk match as part of that, and it is great.
That's a pile driver.
Yeah, the only thing that slightly ruined on my second watch of it my most recent watch of it for the podcast series is I was watching it on YouTube, and man, did WWE have a lot of ad breaks in that. It was like every 90 seconds there was another ad in it.
It's not in my list. I love it, but I wouldn't put it in there.
Not in mine either, but that's only because I try to limit myself to one per person. And I think this one is certainly the 6th best John Cena match. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
AJ Styles at SummerSlam 2016. We've got ECW One Night Stand, Rob Van Dam, Harley Davis, and Cesaro on Monday Night Raw. This is part of the US Open Challenge. It's the second one of the ones. The first one ended in DQ, I think. And this is one of those ones where this is the beauty of. I think it's the best of the United States Open Challenge matches. The Kevin Owens one notwithstanding, I think this is the best actual in-ring match.
I agree, and because it was the second one, there was a sense of, could this be the actual time Cesaro wins?
Yeah. And it does so much for Cesaro. Cesaro's stock I mean, it's not, but it should have come out of it so much higher. Like, it felt like his stock was raised. It's just that there was no, like, furthering on from that. But the match itself, I just think, is so great. And it's one of those, the matches where people are like, John Cena, you can't wrestle. But actually, you know what? When he can turn it on, when Big Match John shows up, I think it's rad and it's awesome.
And it's not putting over fully, but trying to build someone
Yeah.
in the mid-card, which was always the problem with Cena.
Yeah, absolutely, which is why it's better than Money in the Bank. So you got the Rob Van Dam match.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
You can probably guess why. Because it's a room full of people who hate John Cena. I rewatched it, so I actually didn't have this in my list. I actually had the Mania Triple Threat, just because I love the spot where Shawn super kicks Triple H right at the start, and Cena's like...
The big gurning face.
But that bumped off because I forgot about this match, and I realized I rewatched it before we recorded it. It is excellent. The whole one night stand vibe, where Cena was at the time. If Cena wins, we riot, which is, mirrored in the Money in the Bank 2011, a superior match. I burst out laughing when Cena set up the 5-knuckle shuffle and the crowd started chanting, "Same old in 2006.
It's like its first year on top.
Excellent. I know Edge does do the, it's a bit of a nothing finish. It would be more fun if it was someone connected to Rob Van Dam, maybe. But Paul Heyman running down, counting the pin. You did it, Rob. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's weird that Edge is in a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
It's a really weird finish. And you have got the other AJ match.
Yeah, you guys are going to see a lot of AJ here. I think that this is everything that Ollie said about the Kevin Owens match, just better. Just seeing Cena lose to a non-WWE guy in itself. Yes, obviously he's in WWE at this point, but he's not a WWE guy at this point. He still has that image, that aura, that smell of New Japan, of TNA about him. So seeing the face of the franchise, John Cena, lose to AJ Styles in what was arguably up to that point John Cena's best match of his career was nice. It was nice seeing him lose even as a John Cena fan. But I think this goes with what I'm about my thoughts on the Cesaro match. One of the things that I've always said about John Cena is that he can be a wonderful blank canvas. If you put him up against a mediocre wrestler, you are going to get if you put him up against a great wrestler, you often do get great matches. And, for all that talk of Cena can't wrestle, some of WWE's best technical wrestlers have had their best matches with John Cena. Explain that one to me. If John Cena can't wrestle, it's because he is a good blank canvas and so simple and easy to work with that it allows guys like AJ Styles, like Daniel Bryan, like CM Punk to get their moves in nice and easy.
I wonder if it's because he will get a reaction regardless of what's happening. Either the crowd will be booing or cheering him, which means a technical wrestler can just focus on the technical side of things rather than have to get people up that way.
Cena can handle the crowd work.
Yeah.
Which he's very good at.
He is good, undoubtedly great at that, and the facials, as cartoonish as they are, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, you got a match!
Matchy! We've got AJ Styles, the Rumble 2017 for myself and SantiZap, and the Brock Lesnar 2014 match. We've got the same one, so waxed lyrical, if you will, Jose, about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it was just shocking. It was exactly what they should have done with the Extreme Rules 2012 match. It created Suplex City. Lesnar, was feeling, even though he beat The Undertaker and stuff like that, this gave him a shot in the arm. The Beast a shot in the arm. And again, Cena is the perfect person to do it against.
So, let's talk about the Royal Rumble 2017. And you actually said earlier that this match did kind of change how a lot of WWE matches would go from here on in. And I think you're absolutely right on that one, because this match is big move, kick out, big move, spam finish, kick out, spam finish, kick out. But at the time, it felt magical. AJ Styles is up in my top. He's on my Mount Rushmore. He's in my top 3 wrestlers of all time. And seeing him in WWE, thriving in WWE, like you said about the SummerSlam match, Santi, was he did have that TNA stink about him still at that point. I think even here, it's because it's only 1 year later. but it's just like, but he seems great, and it's AJ, and it's him versus Cena. It's the face of TNA versus the face of WWE, and they just pulled out this magical match. It's so good.
Everything I said about the SummerSlam match, this is just ahead because Cena won. It is just the perfect full circle now, the completion of a great trilogy of matches for a John Cena fan, getting to see John Cena win the record 16, tying, in an amazing match. Was just a perfect culmination of this feud.
I mean, yeah, I should have had the sum because, you know, AJ, my guy, won the other one. But I think, yeah, you're right, because this is the 16th title win. It's actually, I think it's a shame he loses it a month later.
Yeah.
And like and that's a real shame as well, because Bray's only got it so he can lose it to Randy at WrestleMania.
It's a weird transitional champ to a transitional champ, isn't it? Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 2013 for MrSantiZap, the Firefly Funhouse for Oliver Davis, and I've got the Umaga match from Royal Rumble 2007. A little bit of context, I'll try and keep this as brief as possible. But 2007, I've just turned 21 years old. I'm in my final year of university, and I love TNA. TNA is my thing. I absolutely adore TNA, but my housemate was a WWE guy. He was WWE through and through. So we had like a very fun, friendly rivalry between each other because, you know, my show was better than his. And even though he knew that his show wasn't always on the best at this period of time, he would fight for it and, you know, defend it this and the other. Shout out to you, Cal, if you're watching. And I really did not get on with John Cena. And, you know, I was part of the message boards, the smartermarks.com. Shout out to the smartmarks.com. That was my forum of choice. And we would sit there online and we would rally against John Cena and be like, John Cena matches suck, they stink, they're rubbish, they're bad. He's the reason why WWE is awful. This is why TNA is awesome. And then he has this match at Royal Rumble 2007. And I watched it live and I went in with my arms folded. Oh, here we go. Another bad, boring John Cena match. This match is awesome. It's so good that me, an ardent John Cena hater at the time, I was like, damn, that match was great. That match was so good. And the Smart Marks forum the following day was just like, damn, that match was great. That match is really good. Maybe this John Cena isn't as bad as we all thought. It is a match that genuinely at this period of time made a lot of anti-Cena guys stand up and be like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Cena's actually really good. I mean, we were proven right because he didn't have any other good matches around this time. But this match is so good. Like, Umaga great, but Cena is superb in this match.
I think everyone pulls their weight in that match. Even the commentary going, what's the line? I've got it here somewhere. Even monsters need air. Even monsters got to breathe.
Yeah. So good.
It's not on my list, but it's just such a good match. It goes back to the Beautiful Lies. You guys were all lied on that forum. This is what John Cena matches are going to be like moving forward. I think we found the theme of good John Cena matches. They just lied to you into believing that something else better was going to come along, but it never did. It's just such an incredible match. I loved the visual of the destruction of the ring. Yep. Umaga is also the quintessential made in a lab perfect John Cena heel. The guy that can't speak English. That's disgusting in America. Don't do that. And he's being led by a Cuban? What? Armando Alejandro Estrada? Oh no, we have to have our American hero go out there and vanquish this monster.
And that's why it's high on my list, because, like, you know, you say something about like the emotional effect that some of these scene matches can have on you. This is one of those ones that did have an emotional effect on me because it did make me think maybe I am wrong about John Cena. I love it. Do you want to talk quickly about the Firefly Funhouse?
Yeah, Firefly Funhouse. We've covered it already. You said it was low down because not really a match. I think that's why it ranks so highly for me. It's very rare that wrestling steps forward into something new. And weirdly, Cena's been a part of so many of those moments, like with the AJ Styles. I guess that's more of a WWE style. But when has WWE, and I don't mean this in a critical way, but when has WWE, the mainstream product, innovated? It's very rare all throughout history. They usually acquire other companies, bring in talent that have actually developed elsewhere, styles that have become, you know, perfected in other promotions, and then they incorporate it in their style, usually 5 years after it's happened. This is one of a kind. And I don't know if we'll ever see it again because it was such a product of the pandemic when it happened, early pandemic as well. It's a character-based deconstruction of the John Cena character as told through the perspective of the person but also character of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, you said that it couldn't have happened any other time. And it's never going to happen again because it's not just the pandemic. It has to be Bray. It has to be John Cena. It doesn't work. Without those three things, it doesn't work. So it really is truly a moment in time. 3, 2, 1. Oh! 2025 represent AJ Styles Crown Jewel 2025 for SantiZap. I've got Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam 2025 and Royal Rumble 2017 versus AJ Styles. 2 2025s, 2 AJ Styles, but 3 very different matches. Let's wrap things up about Rumble 2017.
Well, it's all inside the ring, which is mad to think. They never leave the ring once. This is a proper masterpiece. They've gone out there consciously and been like, AJ Styles. It's not really an AJ Styles match. I've seen AJ Styles matches. They're like with Christopher Daniels and they're with Samoa Joe. It's TNA X Division stuff. But AJ Styles is such a good wrestler. He's looked at the character of John Cena and constructed a match around that entity, whatever it is, and in so doing creates the perfect John Cena match. This was the final bit that wrapped it up for me, where I was like, he ain't all bad, is he? It started with the US title open challenge, but Owens, he eventually beats in that feud. That he beats most of the people he tries to elevate in the open title run. And then the AJ Styles feud is going on, but again, like you said, it doesn't feel like the company's fully into AJ. It's just, it's Cena's sort of main foe at the moment. But by the time it gets to the Rumble, a year after AJ's debut, and he puts this match on, I think he earned so much respect with Vince at the time that Vince is like, okay, right, I believe in AJ Styles, I get it now.
Yeah, I buy into the hype.
But yeah, I think it's the perfect John Cena match. My number one is not a John, it's an equal shared thing. You can probably guess what it is.
I'm struggling to think what it could be.
This match is standalone, an all-time 5-star great match without anyone having to hate John Cena.
Yes.
Which is not the case for all other 9 entries on my list. They are all good and enjoyable because they chip away at what makes John Cena suck as a character. Whereas AJ's like, I'm just going to show how great you are. And he did.
And I think similarly for the Crown Jewel match that you've got, it's beautiful.
Here's why I love this match. The more that you watch professional wrestling, the more this match was for. This is fan service to the max. And I'm here for it. I'm fine with it being fan service. Actually, there was a moment in this where I just accepted AJ Styles was going to win. When he hit the phenomenal forearm match, I was like, yeah, this is fine. I'm okay with AJ winning. I really am okay with AJ winning, which is like the polar opposite of Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. We're like, why is this happening during the retirement tour? Brock Lesnar smashing Cena here isn't earned. In this match, AJ had he beat Cena, it would have felt earned. It would have felt okay.
There are 2 things that really stand out to that match because it's not on my list again because I tried to limit one person on there, and I was like, I picked the Rumble match over the Crown Jewel match, which maybe in hindsight was the wrong move on my part. But the reason why I love the Crown Jewel match is for 2 things in particular. Number one, it's the 619. Because the crowd are having so much fun, they almost dictate. It's like a crowd asking for a band to play a song. It's just like, when I went to go see the Wild Hearts in Portsmouth, and Ginger was like, what song do you want us to play? And I was like, greetings now from I was like, fine, that's what we'll play next. Like, that is what the 619 is. But the crowd were having so much fun, they were like, what if they did 619? Yeah. And then they set it up, and the crowd go ballistic for it. The other thing that really sticks out to me to that match is when you're having so much fun as a wrestling fan, you sort of forget logic in your head. And it reminds me of WrestleMania 40 when the Shield's music hit, and for a moment every wrestling fan thought, I think John Moxley's come back to the WWE. And then when Seth was like, oh no, Seth makes way more sense. But when AJ does the tribute to Frankie Kazarian, And I was like, it's a tribute to Hangman Adam Page. And then like me in the live chat were trying to work out what's the connection between AJ and Hangman Page. And I didn't even think of Kazarian because I thought of the flux capacitor. And I was like, man, I can't believe then I went to a flux capacitor. That'd be mad. So I didn't even think of Frank. So you get into those, like, when you just start to go all up in your head about like, what does this mean? What can this mean? That's fun. And it was really fun to be part of that. And I think that match is magical because of it. 3, 2, 1. It's CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011 for both of you two, and I've got the Shawn Michaels match from Monday Night Raw because this is
Wrong.
This not wrong. It's John Cena's best wrestling match.
I think the AJ Styles Rumble 2017 match is better.
I think this is different. Like that again that's big move kick out, big move kick out. This is a technical wrestling match. And granted, it's Shawn Michaels, so like shock horror, it's a really good technical wrestling match. They go for nearly an hour. Unnecessarily so. Go for nearly an hour in the UK on Monday Night Raw. But
Had someone not got a visa or something?
Yeah, that's what it does feel like. It feels like something, like a match got cancelled. Like, what? You guys go there and go Broadway. I'm afraid you guys. But they do it. And it never feels like, it never drags at any point. It never feels like it overstays its welcome. It is the perfect length. Two guys who just got magical chemistry together. And I think it is John Cena's best wrestling performance he has ever done. And that's why it is my number one. It is not about one guy over another. It's not about a crowd. It is not about a location. It is not about a story about someone finally vanquishing John Cena. It is just two great professional wrestlers having his best match.
All of those reasons you just said, those were my reasons for AJ at the Rumble.
Yeah, I didn't say you were wrong.
But I feel I just.
When did I say you were wrong about that?
No, I just said I think all of those reasons mean that the Rumble Styles match should win.
No, because I think that's it's almost cheat coded because it's got its big move kick out, big move kick out. Like that is an easy way to get a pop is to do a big move and then someone does a near fall. This isn't about just doing big moves and near falls. This is just about having a great professional wrestling match. But anyway, fine. Talk about Money in the Bank 2011. Like, like no one's ever talked about that on YouTube before.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. This is the match that saved wrestling for me in a way, or saved WWE for me. I told you guys during the Daniel Bryan conversation that I was already dabbling in other forms of. I was one more bad month away from never watching WWE. You don't understand. The kids these days that think that the Triple H era is so bad, you don't understand what bad really is. 2011 was one of the most barren wastelands as a professional wrestling WWE fan that you could have witnessed. The only cool thing going on was CM Punk. And somehow WWE still refused to do anything with it up until this match. And you know what? I'm sorry. The pipe bombing is included in this match. All of it is part of this. Every single aspect that made the Summer of Punk cool is part of this match. You say this is not a John Cena match? I disagree. This match was for all of the people that hate John Cena, that felt that John Cena was part of the reason that WWE was dying in 2011. So it doesn't work if it's not John Cena. I don't disagree that if you put anybody else opposite of Punk in that Chicago crowd that they're going to get booed, but it's not the same emotion. This was people wanting a change to the status quo. People wanted wrestling to be cool again, and the only way that was going to happen was going to be with CM Punk, and it happened. For that night, for that moment, it happened.
I'm very, very similar. It was after 2010, the whole Nexus angle, which Cena was really responsible for burying overall, not just in the SummerSlam match, but in the months of that awful storyline that followed. I was out.
Yeah.
I was watching Ring of Honor. I was going to more indie shows. That credit to John Cena. He got me he got me out of the house. That's how bad he was
You went and
to
touched
watch
grass.
live wrestling. I went and touched smelly wrestling. Yeah. But it was the pipe bomb promo. It was the Punk pipe bomb promo, and then it was this match. And sure, the follow-up was nowhere near what it should have been. But it's more than just a match. As me and Sandy have already said, because it connected to us on just a completely otherworldly level. Where I was when I was this age, like 20, early 20s, that pipe bomb meant more to me than just a storyline. That was the pipe that I listened to that promo before I would go on dates, before I would go into interviews to psych me up.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like, yeah, it's Punk the character versus Cena the character. It's a battle of philosophies. It's like if Coldplay just suddenly got the crap kicked out of it by
Limp Bizkit.
No, not Limp Bizkit. By, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think you come up with a better example than I did.
Lou Reed.
All right. I have got the official rankings. I'll try and reveal this one by one. In at number 3 with 15 points, Firefly Funhouse from WrestleMania 36 versus The Fiend and Bray Wyatt. At number 2 with 23 points, Royal Rumble 2017 versus AJ Styles. At number 1 with 25 points, just 2 points in it, Money in the Bank 2011 versus CM
We saved it.
Punk.
We saved it, Ollie.
We did it.
We saved it. This video would have gotten bombarded with dislikes and hates because of Luke had it not won.
That is my top 3.
Oh, no way.
That's actually my top 3.
Wow.
So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Oh, does that mean I'm objectively correct, like Triple H?
If you want to hear more from SantiZap, then go and check out the Wrestling is Cool podcast for episodes every Friday, which you can get early over on his Patreon. You can also find Santi on YouTube, where he's about to reach 1,000 daily videos. You can find all of those links in the description down below. Shout out to Sancho as well, who I don't think gets enough respect on the podcast. I think that he deserves more thumbnail presence. I think
he gets adequate. He gets what he gets.
Sandy, thank you so much for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure. And you can find more of us with SantiZap, because we're going to be going through the worst John Cena matches over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk. But if you enjoyed this TLC video, here's a clip of another one we did. How's your lips?
It's always good to have a catchphrase that you'd say to somebody after they've had a lip filler done.
When I was thinking about it, it's the thing my Aunt Sue would say to me if I fell off my skateboard when I was a teenager. Oh, how's your lips?
So
I fell on my
stupid.
face. Yeah. Not like The Rock has got so many great catchphrases.
Yep.
How's your lips? It's not.
How's your lips?
How's your lips? How's your lips?